We interrupt your regular scheduled program to bring you breaking news this afternoon. Amnicola Highway is shut down at this hour near the Coca-Cola plant with a heavy police presence. What we do know right now that there is some type of active shooting going on right now. On NewsChannel9.com, we have confirmed that there are some details of some police activity at Riverside Park near Amnicola Highway. We understand that there is some shots been fired. Drew Balea is on the scene right now on the phone. So Drew, tell us, what do you know?
Hey, good afternoon, Greg. We're about a half a mile, no, we're less. We're about a quarter of a mile away from the Coca-Cola bottling plant. And let me give you the most important information first. Amnicola Highway has been shut down all the way to Wisdom Street, which is right in front of the police service center. And on the other side, we're not exactly sure how far it's been shut down, but we believe all the way to DuPont Parkway. So that's the chunk of Amnicola that we are standing in, and we're sort of trapped in between. They're not letting us leave. They're not letting us go any further. And the other information that you need to know right now is about 15 minutes ago, I heard what sounded like 6 rapid-fire shots coming from an area near the Coca-Cola bottling plant. I'm using that as a point of reference. I'm not saying that's where those shots came from, just simply as a point of reference to the direction I heard those shots coming from. As we were traveling down Amnicola, we were passed by 3 to 4 Chattanooga police officer vehicles that were speeding towards this area where those apparently shots were heard. Once we pulled off to the side and they shut the road down, then it was just an onslaught of police vehicles, emergency service vehicles, and ambulances. At least 30 vehicles of all different sorts, including state troopers, Hamilton County sheriffs, EMS, and ambulances. We saw Ken, you said 4 ambulances? We saw 4 ambulances heading towards the Coca-Cola bottling plant, which would be north on Amnicola. And we have seen 2 come speeding back by, escorted by police service vehicles, come speeding back by south in the opposite direction with their lights on and sirens blaring. That usually is an indication that they have somebody inside, but I don't want to jump to any conclusions there, just telling you what we saw and what we heard while we've been out here. I mentioned that the scene is very quiet now with the occasional police car or ambulance coming by, but again, that wasn't the case about, only 5-10 minutes ago. We've been where we are now for about 30-35 minutes, as it is 11:30 Eastern time right now, and here we have even more police officers coming by. You might be able to hear the sirens in the distance. So for right now, what I can tell you is that the police officers walking around have put their guns away. When we first got here, they were directing traffic using rifles and their handheld weapons, and it was a very tense scene. Things where we are seem to be relaxing a bit, although traffic has not moved. The road is still closed, and everybody appears to be standing on high alert. Greg?
Businesses are also on lockdown. Tell us about that. What have you learned about? I understand Chattanooga State is also on lockdown at this hour.
I haven't been able to confirm that. I haven't been told about that information. I do have a PIO with the police department pulling up as we speak, so we might be getting more information, or we might be asked to leave this location. So we can update you here in just a few moments. Okay, Greg?
All right, Drew, thanks so much. And we are still following this developing news. If you're just now joining us, this is an active shooting that's happening on Amnicola Highway. If you're driving near that area, Amnicola Highway is shut down this afternoon. We've gotten a number of viewer pictures. Let's take a look here. This is a photo from Peter sent in to us just moments ago. As you can see, this is just one of many photos coming in. You can see a lot of police presence on Amnicola Highway. Again, Amnicola Highway is shut down. We understand this happened somewhere in the 4,000 block of Amnicola Highway. Again, if you have any photos and if you have something that you can safely send to us, you can send it to us in our See It, Shoot It, Send It gallery here at News Channel 9. A Ben Swinger Glass employee nearby confirms to us just moments ago that police told them they are working an investigation of an active shooting. Now, we understand the students over at Chattanooga State, they've been on lockdown for a little bit of time at this time. Also, police have shut down Amnicola Highway. So if you're traveling in that area, you may want to go an alternate route this afternoon. Also, don't forget, we've been talking about this. Drew Balea reported that he heard a half a dozen gunshots when he pulled up to the scene about 30 or so minutes ago. So this is something we have been following. Again, we've had photos that have come in. A number of people are talking about this at this hour. We don't know the extent of any injuries right now. we are working contacts in our newsroom to confirm with police to see what we can find out. And as I said, Drew Balea was just talking just a moment ago. He was set a PIO with the police department. Just pulled up. Let's go back to Drew Balea. So Drew, tell us, what do you know now?
Greg, I was just told by some law enforcement that they're going to be staging media in the location, but they haven't determined what that location will be at the moment. I think that might be because we're the only media that is remotely close to this that we can see on Amnicola in the section that we are blocked in. We're trying to confirm that there may have been some injuries in this active shooter situation, but at the moment, I cannot confirm that there were any injuries at the moment. That information could change, as this is a evolving situation, and it will likely change many times as we get more and more information. You got to remember when I said that there was 30 vehicles passing us from different departments and different agencies, that takes a lot of communication, and then when we get that message from the police or EMS, we have to then take that information and get it to you guys, and for them to compile all these different pieces of info that they get during an active scene like this can take some time. So again, as Greg has been saying, make sure you stay up to date with NewsChannel9.com and also follow us on our social pages, Facebook and Twitter, because that's where we can get you information the fastest. But right now, we are still stuck in a standstill here on Amnicola. There are police still kind of going back and forth, but the mood seems to be a little more relaxed than it was about 15 to 20 minutes ago.
Andrew,
that's all we can update you with at the moment. Greg?
Andrew, we're taking a live shot now of the scene here on Amnicola Highway. We see a number of police cars out there in this particular area. We do know, again, if you're just now joining us, this is an active shooting. Just happened about 30 minutes ago or so, and Drew Balea is on the scene. We have other crews on the scene as well. So again, if you're traveling near the Amnicola Highway area, stay out of that area this afternoon. Go to an alternative route. Also, you can go to our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter. We have our crew updating it up to the minute information so that you can know what you need to know if you're going to be driving near that area, how you can avoid Amnicola Highway this afternoon. Again, a student at Chattanooga State has confirmed to News Channel 9 that the school has been put on lockdown, and Brianna Ardundo is just one of many reporters out there on the scene this afternoon working her contacts. So Brianna, can you tell us, what do you know about what's happening here on Amnicola Highway?
Thank you. Right now, we are not learning much more than what you guys have. We just got here maybe 10 minutes ago. We're in the parking lot of Aero Exterminators, and I talked to a couple of employees inside that building. They told us that they have locked up, have been told or advised to stay inside by some of the workers who are hearing some reports of the police activity. If you take a look there, you can see lots of police cars, CPD, Chattanooga Police. I've also seen Hamilton County Sheriff's deputies speed by down towards the Chat State direction. We're still unclear of exactly what situation they're handling at this moment, but they do have a lot of the surrounding roads blocked off to traffic. They're rediverting people up near Wisdom Street by police services, and also people who are in, let's go ahead and turn down this way. We can hear some sirens coming down this way. I've also seen what looks like a couple of ambulances drive by this area. Here's another ambulance that's coming right now. We don't know if anyone has been injured, not confirmed injuries as of yet. Again, this is still a developing situation. We're going to learn as much information as we can and pass it along to you as soon as we have that confirmed.
What we do know, Mayor Andy Burke did confirm to CNN just a short time ago that one officer has been hurt. We don't know the extent of that officer's injuries at this hour. But again, we have a number of crews that have been working the story, working all angles to bring you the information that you need to know. And right now, Kelsey Bagwell joins me here on set. She's been following the social media, Twitter, Facebook. What have you learned?
A lot of people are taking to social media, as you've mentioned, to talk about what's happening, including some of those employees at the businesses that are shut down, and of course Chat State students, as their school is also in lockdown. We mentioned earlier that Mayor Andy Burke has been speaking on social media about what's happening, and just moments ago His tweet reads, "Horrific incident in our community. We will release details as they're confirmed. Prayers to all those affected." And right now we still don't know the details, the backstory behind that tweet, but many other people, of course, our team coverage happening now. We have several crews there as well. And then our account, News Channel 9 on Twitter, will retweet all of that information as our separate crews get them. So be sure to also follow that if you're not already for the latest details. We're also hearing from Chattanooga police that they have staging for media, so we're hoping to get those details as soon as possible. But as we've mentioned before, Drew Balea live on the scene. He said he's seen one ambulance speeding away from the area where he heard what sounded like 6 gunshots. The ambulance escorted by several police vehicles. And then many other viewers are sending some pictures as well from the scene. Again, those employees and students that are inside the closed off area of Amnicola, and they are sending what they're seeing as well. So
a lot of information confirmed about how many people were involved in this shooting. But from what was the feel? Were there other bikers that were around the area? Did they have anything shut down?
Well, I didn't see any bikers around the area where the gunman is supposed to be, and I think they had the area already shut down before I got up to the dam to get to my vehicle.
And you said that you weren't able to get to your car at all. So right now you're kind of stuck?
I'm stuck. So I'm basically stuck out here on Amnicola Highway until they clear the mess up and apprehend the gunman.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, so we are still, I'm walking around and trying to see if there's anyone that might have seen or heard anything in terms of what happened in this shooting. Again, it's all under investigation, as our team reporters have been telling you. We're still working to learn more information about who all has been involved and what the extent of the injuries are, and we'll be able to get that information for you as soon as we have more confirmed.
All right, Brianna, thanks so much. We're getting new information right now. We understand ATF is also involved in this investigation this afternoon.
That's right. We did just get the update from Mike Knight with ATF. That's the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. We're told that they are responding to this scene. And as Calvin Sneed has told us in his many years of journalism, that makes it a fairly big deal, to use his terminology.
Definitely. Calvin Sneed just got back from a press conference with the mayor, Andy Burke. So, Calvin, tell us, what do you know right now?
As I said on the phone just a few minutes ago, there was an audible gasp when the mayor made his statement.
As soon as we know more, we will certainly get that information to you. I talked to Chief Fletcher right before I walked in here. I literally do not know more than I just told you. This is very important, and I'm very concerned about what's going on out there, and I need to go talk to them.
Why is that troubling?
We've got an officer down. We had somebody out there shooting at our Army Reserve Center. This is a very, very terrible situation, and we need to go figure out how we can handle it.
He was very anxious to end the news conference where we were on something else. I mean, we were all there based on something else, and then this just came up. So the severity of this apparently is pretty massive.
Can you describe the emotion in that room when the mayor broke the news to all of you? You were there for something else, but what was that mood?
All of the news people there in the room started looking at each other like, had you heard anything? Did you see anything? You know, the only thing we had was the confirmed shooting from the mayor. As we were coming back to the station from downtown, we ran into Amnicola Highway. We were on Amnicola Highway at Riverside, and they were diverting everybody over to Wilcox. So, folks, I can tell you right now, if you've got any reason to not be on Amnicola Highway right now, that's probably a good thing, because you're not going to get through there. Plus, you're going to find all the side streets, the bypasses, the areas around that, they're going to be jammed with cars. So I wouldn't try to use Amnicola Highway. And you can see right now on the screen where they have it all blocked off, streets are blocked off. They have just periphery traffic that was already inside of that coverage area to start with.
And a gentleman just tweeted me shortly ago. I mentioned this a little bit ago. A guy tweeted and said he was about to discharge from Erlanger Hospital downtown. The hospital is also on lockdown. If you're just now joining with us, we're still following a shooting on Amnicola Highway. We understand this happened over at the U.S. Naval Reserve location. That's in the 4000 block of Amnicola Highway. Just shortly after 11 o'clock this morning, we heard a lot of talk and chatter going on the the scanners in our newsroom. And as Calvin said, he was down with the mayor for a press conference. And at the end of that press conference, the mayor started talking about what's happening. He did confirm that one officer has been hurt. We don't know the extent of the officer's injuries. We understand that this all unfolded again around 11:15 or so this morning. We're still working to confirm, trying to get our crews to the staging area where the reporters are going to be to get that information from Chattanooga Police.
We have video now in-house of the Lee Highway scene. As we mentioned earlier, that's the second scene where police are set up. News Channel 9's Alyssa Sperato is on the scene there and said she asked officers to give her some information about what happened. Obviously, they're very busy at this moment trying to keep this second scene contained as well. I'm trying to see on the screen what some of these shops are. Calvin, can you help me out with that?
This is actually as you get off, if you're coming from Highway 153 from the Hickson area and you get off on Lee Highway, as soon as you get out that exit right across from the McDonald's, this is where that scene is, where you can see police officers here on Lee Highway, another active scene. Witness in Chattanooga here tells CNN that she saw a man with a high-powered rifle fire multiple shots at her store from a silver Mustang. This just moments ago, tweeted out from a reporter from CNN. Again, a witness saying that, telling CNN that she saw a man with a high-powered rifle fire multiple shots at her store from a silver Mustang. And now we have Alyssa Sperato. She's on the phone. I think she's at Lee Highway, at the Lee Highway location. Alyssa, tell us, what have you learned?
Yeah, Greg, good afternoon. I just finished up an eyewitness account from a business that is just next door. I had a chance to speak with that manager who told me that he heard about 20 to 30 gunshots. He said he ran outside, and at that point, he said there was a man in a silver Mustang convertible that had a gun outside of his car. He said that once he saw him, he pulled the gun inside, he ran out, and he sped off. He said that once at that point, the manager of Toscano's Pizzeria, which is right next door, he says he went to the Navy office. He says that's where he says he saw one person. He could not confirm if they were a service member, but they had a gunshot wound to the leg.
And we're getting some questions on our Twitter. Do we know anything about the suspect? At this time, we do not have any information on the suspect. If this person acted alone or if there were multiple, we still don't have that information, but you can depend on us to share that as soon as we learn more. Of course, the people with those answers are very busy on this scene, containing it, keeping these people safe and assessing what they can. So as soon as we hear any information about the suspect or suspects, we will certainly let you know.